Welcome back, guys, to the Potion of Mars channel. I am your host, John. Next to me is my companion, Mike. So hello, Mike.
Hey, how's it going? I'm alive.
Today we're going to do a review, an honest review, of how we both felt about Suicide Squad, 100 years later. It can be called the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's just jump right into this. So one of the good things about the movie was Deadshot. Will Smith did a fabulous job, I believe. He was probably one of the better parts of the movie.
Deadshot was pretty good because he had most of the action parts in the movie. Like every time he was on screen, there was going to be action involved, and it's kind of supposed to be an action flick. You feel more attached with his character because it shows him with his kid when he doesn't have his suit on. They even put enough information in there that you understand that his wife doesn't like him because he kills people, and his daughter understands that because she knows that he's a killer, that he's an assassin. He has some pretty funny parts in the movie, some of the funnier ones. It seemed like in a movie about a group, he's the one that got himself involved with the group, like El Diablo.
He was definitely the leader, like a leader-ish type
like,
person.
He got Diablo to use his firepower 2 times. He talked to Flag more than anyone else. And then he also had that sort of relationship sort of thing with Harley at times, where apparently in the comic books it's canon, or I'm not sure if it's canon or not, if he had a thing with her and something.
There was a movie out there where Deadshot and Harley did bump uglies. It was part of the Arkhamverse, if you know what that is. It was in there. Yeah, Deadshot was the better part of the movie, all in all. But another good part of the movie was Rick Flag, the soldier. Now he was the second best part of the movie, in my eyes. He was definitely, like, he kind of wanted to be a leader, but I feel like he was just under the shadow of Deadshot in the movie, at least.
Yeah, it seemed like Deadshot and him kind of like flopped roles a few times. This is going to be spoiler free since it's been like a few weeks after the movie's released 100 years ago. So those of you who haven't gotten the new release of the movie, you've had plenty of time to watch it, plenty of time. Anyway, so I feel like Flag, he was important just because he kind of had to, I guess he didn't have to be in the movie, but for this story he was in the movie because of Enchantress.
He wanted to be in it, and also to keep, the squad in check. He's gonna blow their heads off. He had the app.
He was the one that led them through Eyes on the Ground.
And he also had his own squad with him, his more soldiers that he had with him.
the wasteful fucking squad that really didn't do anything.
Spoiler. That is kind of true.
I mean, really, the only thing they did was at the end.
All they did was shoot, if anything.
Yeah, they shot, but at the end, they were the ones that deposited the EMP bomb thing.
They did. They did make the bomb. Scott Eastwood, I think is his name. One of the more disappointing things was they had a bunch of characters in there, and I don't know, but maybe they were trying to be like Civil War, because Civil War had a bunch of characters, but in Civil War they did have more, like you saw more of the characters, and in Suicide Squad you had like almost the same amount of characters.
Well,
and you didn't see some for very long.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the screen time.
So
but the difference between this and Civil War was, in Civil War, like, most of that cast has already had a movie, and if you want to count Spider-Man, Spider-Man's had 5 movies. Even though they're not this Spider-Man, people are already used to that character. The only ones that haven't gotten a movie is like Black Widow and Hawkeye and Black Panther. But even the ones that haven't gotten a movie yet are going to get a movie. They're going to get a movie, or they've been in other movies. A lot of people in the past reviews, I've been comparing this to Guardians of the Galaxy, though, just because Guardians is supposed to be a vigilante group, and this is like villains villains being heroes. So I guess I don't know why people were comparing it that way. I guess because of soundtrack. So if you want to go into why how the soundtrack played out in your opinion.
Well, also there's in Guardians of the Galaxy, a better movie by the way. In Guardians of the Galaxy, Peter Quill isn't a good guy per se. He's more of like the outlaw. So they're not all just heroes. I mean, they also were in prison as well in Guardians of the Galaxy. That is another true. Probably similarity there.
But they seem more of heroes. I mean, they're supposed to be heroes, but they seem like when you look at them, you know that they're heroes. You don't really feel like they're villains after all, especially since everyone that's around them is evil. I mean, in this movie, in Suicide Squad, you have Amanda Waller, who's working with the government, and you even get to see the Superman glimpses and how she relates to Superman. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know why people are comparing it to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Also, another thing that I like to compare is this movie comparing with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. How, I mean, the only movie that has an origin right now in this universe is Superman. He's the only one with a movie by himself. And then when Batman v Superman comes out, they introduce Batman and Wonder Woman. And in this one, it feels like, to me, it was kind of the same thing, but introducing in a larger scheme. And you didn't really have the origins of Wonder Woman or Batman. But I mean, everyone knows Batman's origins, but people probably don't know Wonder Woman's all too well. And in Suicide Squad, they just threw in a lot of origins at once.
Yeah, if you want to tab a little bit back on what you just said with Dawn of Justice origins, I do agree. Even though Wonder Woman's getting her own movie, I feel like they should have used the time for Batman's or Bruce Wayne's origin story. Should have made that a Wonder Woman origin story. Just get her a feel. Anyway, but this is about Suicide Squad. So we're going to be doing Suicide Squad. Yeah, you're right. A lot of the people that were in the movie that needed a backstory, like people that no one's have heard about, really needed it. Like, and I understand not showing, I mean, Slipknot shows up and then 2 minutes later gets killed.
I understand why they did that. I totally 100% understand why they did it.
I understand. I'm saying as long as they didn't give him a backstory that took a long time, I'm fine with it. Just because, okay, he's in the movie, he's dead. They didn't spend too much time on him. I was fine with that, you know. Even though he can climb anything, and then he gets killed climbing one thing. Gets his neck.
You never know when your last climb is, so always be ready. I think something that they did good in the marketing, but the movie was kind of. Either way was I won't go too far, but the villain in the
we're doing spoilers.
Oh, the spoilers.
Yeah,
okay.
Spoilers. Go
so in the trailers, you see no villain, right? You don't know who the villain is, and it makes you think that Enchantress is part of the team, which she was going to be, but in the movie, you see that she is actually the main bad guy. I think that's a good thing that they did as like. To surprise you, but the villain should have been like a stronger villain. Not saying change the villain, like make her stronger.
Yeah, because I agree that she, because we were talking about this before, how I said that I felt like she was a weak villain. But do you think they made her not so strong just because she also was relying on her brother? Because this movie, you could say, has two villains, Enchantress and her brother. Whatever his name is. The giant yellow honeycomb.
Her name is Brother.
Okay. Honeycomb drinking guy. Yeah, do you think that could have been it? Because I mean, he seemed really OP. He was just walking through a subway with his arm, tentacle arm, just touching people and they die. I don't know why that didn't happen when he touched Diablo, but
maybe. But then again, she was like, "Oh, I need my heart, brother." And he just like gave her some of her power, and it seemed from that when her brother gave her some of his power, from that to when she got her heart, it seemed like she gained no power whatsoever. She kind of stayed the same. They should have made her even more OP or OP'd. Because to me, I like when the villain just whoops ass, where there's like no chance for the person to like the hero to win.
Well, if you think about it. And also, this is about Suicide Squad, but going back to the Dawn of Justice, Yeah, where it seems like there's impossible ends, and then they threw Doomsday in. I know that's a Zack Snyder film, is by a different director, but you know Warner Brothers is playing their own cards in the games. But Doomsday in the comic books, it took Superman like days, like several days to fight Doomsday, and in Dawn of Justice, it was just like a few minutes. It took all three of them, but it was just a few minute fight, and it didn't feel like they were going to lose. Spoiler alert on Dawn of Justice, Superman dies.
He dies.
He's already in the poster for Justice League. But yeah, so yeah, I agree. Like when they fight, it's like they seem like they and I understand you want to spend time on your group that you're focusing around, and then but like when you're going to show the villain, you gotta hype them up to where they look strong and not weak as fuck. Cause the fight with El Diablo and the brother, it didn't seem really climactic, and then the fight with them against her didn't seem climactic. Like she got killed by a katana sword.
I actually enjoyed the fight scene with Diablo and the brother, but it was really,
that's what I'm saying.
Blink and you miss. I enjoyed it.
Fast.
It was a great surprise. It reminded me like whenever Ant-Man went huge, and it reminded me of that. It was really cool.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like they should have spent more time on that, or at least make the villains, because like again, this is I guess one thing. Guardians of the Galaxy, I think the villain's name was Ronan. He completely covered a whole planet with his ship. Well, not completely covered, but he was covering a planet with his ship to where like I don't know what the hell they are. The alien police of that planet formed that giant wall with their ships, you know? Yeah. Like this big climactic battle that seemed crazy. And I understand this is way different than Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad, you know, like I said, if you want to compare it with Dawn of Justice, since they're in the same universe, it seems like a group of people in both movies, a group of people fight the villain, and the fights only last like 5 minutes total. And then the movie ends. Like, you know, in Dawn of Justice, they fight Doomsday, he finally shows up, and then they fight him for 5 minutes, and then I guess they win.
I understand it takes a lot of money to make it too, but I wish they would spend like just a little more and make longer fight scenes.
Well, you gotta think, Deadpool was on like a $50 million budget, and that fight scene was really long at the end. That was a group of people versus, I guess you could count it as a group of people, but that was a decent fight scene for that scene. I mean, they showed
Deadshot shooting all the Power Ranger buddies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was. I mean, yeah, that fight scene was really cool. But I'm talking about like the villain boss battle at the end of the movie, the climactic battle with the villain. You know, like in Deadpool, he, you know, his group of buddies had to fight the villain at the end. He kind of did it on his own. In this movie, I don't know, like when it came down to fighting like they killed the brother, and it's like Enchantress the whole time was supposed to be making a machine, because the machine, we worship machines now, and all this stuff, and then she doesn't really make a machine, doesn't show the machine, just shows a ray.
I feel like that part, she's just saying machine just to say it. I don't really think she meant like, an actual like machine. I don't think she meant that.
I don't know. But do you think she was using like the rail station? Because they were in the subway a lot. You think she like made a train cart satellite, but they just never showed it.
She said it was darkness.
Oh, did she?
She says, my darkness.
You've seen it like 5 times.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it a million times.
I've only seen it once.
She called it darkness. I just think she was casting a spell, but she called it a machine just to smite the humans or something. I did enjoy the final fight scene a lot. Actually, I just still with the length of time.
Did you like? I feel like they made the time on that fight scene a lot longer with that slow motion. Like they made that slow motion last long. Like
I actually enjoyed the slow motion.
I didn't. I
liked it a lot.
Just because you have him throwing it, and that's like him pulling back his arm and chunking it. I can't remember what else happened in that. I just remember it was a bunch of scenes that were all slow mo for some reason. They should have fast forwarded it and then slowed it down, like had the bullet fly at it.
I enjoyed how Enchantress made Deadshot see his daughter saying, "Don't pull the trigger, Daddy." When he's gonna shoot the bomb, and Enchantress makes him see his daughter. Yeah. Oh, don't pull the trigger. That part was pretty emotional.
Talking about when everyone else was being.
One of the poor things in the movie was the editing, the cutting. Cut this, cut that. Freaking cutting everything off. I didn't get it.
I think the worst part and we already told you about it, and then you called it Song Overhaul. So I put that in the notes when we were talking about it. The first song you hear is House of the Rising Sun, the original by the Animals.
At the very beginning.
Well, actually, that's not the original. It's Bob Dylan. But anyway, you hear the Animals, and then immediately after that, I can't remember what song they play, but
was it Harley Quinn's song? Was that what it... I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. I just know, like, once one song ended, it went directly into another, like another classical song, and then once that one ended, it went to another one and another one. Like, it went from AC/DC to Queen. I think Metallica was probably in there, Guns N' Roses. Like, it felt like I made a CD.
Your mistake.
Yeah, I felt like my flash drive that I used for playing video games, I stuck it in my PlayStation, and then I'm playing a game, I just got bored, so I just kept click and skip, and like that's what they did with this movie. They just click and skip for all their stuff.
The music didn't bother me that bad. The problem was, for me, was how the way Amanda Waller introduced she had the sheets of paper and how she introduced him was a great idea. The problem was, for me, was that whenever it's like she barely started one character and it's worded to another character. Oh, okay, we're done with that character. Oh, here's another character.
Yeah, but see, when she was
and when they did that, they switched the
songs.
music.
That's what I'm saying.
The music didn't really bother me too much. I understand why it bothered someone, but it didn't. Like, to me, I didn't give a shit about the music.
Like, I wouldn't mind because they use great classical songs. I mean, they're really great jams, but to have them played for a minute, one after another like that, because like you said, it's exactly how he said it. When she's introducing them. One scene after another, because of the editing, they also edited the music with it, and I feel like the amount of time that they spent on their backstories, they could have just made that like one song.
Yeah.
Instead of having like a song for each scene. Going into spoilers and throwing it in there. The Flash. The Flash being in there fighting Captain Boomerang. I know it's not Captain Boomerang, but
Captain Useless. It is Captain Boomerang.
Oh, is it?
It is Captain Boomerang. It is. He's the captain of...
Oh, there he is right
Yeah,
there.
there he
is. Captain, I'm from Australia, but I sound like I'm Irish or Eastern European. I don't know. He sure as hell doesn't sound Australian.
The only one problem I had with him...
Top of the morning to you.
The one problem I had with Captain Boomerang is whenever they pulled him out of the body bag, and he says some dialogue... Out of the entire billion times I watched the movie, I did not understand what he said the first time they pulled him out of the body bag.
At the script.
The 6-week script. I guess that's the only problem I have with Boomerang.
6-week script.
I think they did a fabulous job with Captain Boomerang, the way he is. He is a weaker villain, a weaker part of the squad. I think they did a great job with him, for me.
And I guess since we're on this slide and we actually didn't take a note of it at all, is the new Joker that entered the DC universe. Jared Cappuccino. Jared, let him take out all your scenes. Oh my goodness, all the interviews with him, he seems very angry.
I feel so bad for the guy.
And for 6 months of filming, for him to be in the movie as little as he was, I mean, he was bling bling. Like, I knew they were going with a new style of Joker, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
The thing that just bothered me was, like, how much jewelry he had on, especially Harley. In those scenes when she was with the Joker, she had like 3 watches. Yeah, she had 3 watches on her arm, like her bicep. Like,
yeah, dude, one for New York, Gotham, and Metropolis.
Makes no sense.
By the way, I think Jared Leto did a great job playing as the Joker.
I think he did a good job for a new Joker. Because if you're trying to compare him to the past Jokers, you can't compare a Joker to another Joker. But for a new Joker, I'm fine with it. I mean, you can say, Heath Ledger's the best Joker, and most people may not deny you, but Jared Leto as a new Joker, I think he fits the part, even though he might not be the Joker after this, since he says he's going to change his contract.
Or he'll try.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be in another movie, too, if I signed on for an X amount of screen time, an X amount of filming, and then...
they just cut you out.
Yeah, and then nothing, all that for nothing. That kind of sucks.
And it's like, what was Warner Brothers, or whoever the fuck edited the damn movie, What were they thinking?
Trailer Boys.
Trailer Boys.
Trailer Park.
Trailer Park. I don't know why they thought like, oh, it'd be great to cut out the Jared Leto scene, but people want to see the Joker. Like when you watch a movie, if Suicide Squad, they want to see it. So why would they do an fan service and not put him in there?
Yeah, and we did it right here. we did exactly what they are in this movie. Well, except for Flag. That's just a joke. but yeah, the fan service. I mean, I'm not a fan, so they did me no service at all.
I am a fan.
But for you as a fan,
I'm a fan.
Because usually when I have a question about DC, I go to you. How do you feel the fan service was? Like, if this was a restaurant and you were going to rate it on Yelp, what were you going to give this?
Yelp's 5 stars, right?
Oh, fuck if I know.
Let's assume it's 5 stars.
I'm not a Yelper.
Let's assume
actually.
Okay, let's do 5 and then we'll do 10.
Okay.
All right. So if Suicide Squad was a restaurant and I went in there and I ate, I ate my Furies.
Yeah. And how was your service?
And I went out walking. I would give the movie.
Raise the flag.
Give it a 4.
A 4
for fan service. A 4 for me.
Service.
If it was 10, I would give it a 7.5.
7.5.
To me, the movie was extremely entertaining. I do watch it multiple times. My favorite part was probably, was just Batman. Just being that little 3 minutes of Batman, or 2 minutes, whatever, how long it is. That's like my favorite part. I am a huge Bat fan. You'll always see me in the same Bat channel.
What about that Bat sex? But that's something else.
And seeing the Flash surprised me. I thought it was really cool. The only thing that bothered me was his lightning everywhere. I don't know what they're doing with that, but
you're
it's
not
fine.
a fan of the lightning thing. Well, he was struck by lightning, so now he's redirecting it like Zuko from The Last Airbender. He's just shooting it out.
Let's see.
We're drowning this out. Let's see what else we can talk.
The Uglies.
We haven't talked about the Ugly, which is spoilers. I guess. Okay.
What does that even say?
That's CGI.
Oh.
My notes say
Okay.
CGI. So
I couldn't read that.
This is why I said the Ugly is the CGI.
You know why I couldn't read that? Because the CGI was so bad.
Okay, I didn't think the CGI was too bad. It didn't make sense because you have 2 scenes right here. We have El Diablo. This is perfect time. I don't know why this is linking up so good, probably because I'm not pressing the buttons. Okay, so we have El Diablo right here. He shoots fire, and there's 2 scenes that are exactly the same where he's shooting fire at a prison before he gets
in the yard?
Yeah, and the fire in that scene both times looked really bad to me.
I thought it looked fine.
If you watch it, it looks bad. I don't know if it's because they're showing it on like an iPad or a Windows tablet, whatever it is.
Samsung tablet.
Whatever.
Sponsored Samsung.
That's what it was?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Well, anyway, the scene didn't look good. The fire looked bad. And then there's 2 other times where he used fire. He uses like this crazy big blast when he gets pissed off by Deadshot. That's like the first time you actually see him use it. And that looked really good. And I was like, wow, why does the fire look good in this scene and not that fire yard? And then he turns into the crazy Apache Mayan skeleton thing. I guess the Diablo at the end of the movie. And that looked really good. But I don't know why those 2 scenes looked good. And the 2 courtyard scenes, which were the same, except for one of them he had a crown of fire that looked really stupid. I don't know why those scenes look so bad.
The one part that I thought looked bad was whenever Enchantress got her shared power with her brother when she asked for help.
She transformed.
And not the transformation. When she was walking.
I'm saying her new transformation, like her new form.
When she was just
my final form.
When she was walking with her arms out, doing whatever,
yeah,
like
she was walking like an Egyptian.
I felt really like bad. And then
it was
also
just awkward. She walked awkward. She was just awkward.
Yeah. She looked good, but like when that transition, the animation, that CGI was bad, and then also what the hell she was doing, and then also her brother not when you first see her brother, but whenever like you just see him standing there or walking or whatever, like I think he looks kind of bad too.
Like when he's formed.
When he's fully formed, decked out,
I think it's
Iron Man
he's
suit.
So CGI. I think it was because he was
100%
he was like
CGI.
Well, he was like one solid piece, if you know what I mean, like he had no clothing, right? So it was just like one solid piece from the neck, from the toes all the way up to his head was like one. It was like he was everything. It was weird. I know what you're talking about. It looked awkward. Weird. It just looked weird because his face, there was no... Because, like, when you're looking at someone, they have clothing, so they have all these different things. He didn't have that.
I understand that.
He looked like he was just plain, and then he had, like, a... It was weird. It just looked awkward.
And also a bad part, whenever he, like, killed that physician, where the hell he was, the doctor guy, when he's doing compressions, and then when he, like, pierced through him, and when they, like, tremble on, when they fall in, whenever the guy's like, oh, like, he faints, the black guy faints, and like, oh, I'm a physician, or whatever he says, and he starts doing compressions on the guy, and he's the brother, and he, like, kills the guy, and kills the cop, and they fall into the subway station.
Don't know what the fuck
you know, and then well, he's transforming. The guy's transforming, and then his hand starts to morph, and he just touches the rails, and like lightning comes out.
Lightning remember that.
That part, him touching the hand part, that part looked ridiculous.
I don't remember
that CGI.
Lightning coming out.
That CGI looked just ridiculous to me.
And the ultimate CGI, and this is where we disagree, were the villains, like they were like the minions.
Oh yeah.
The minions of Enchantress. They get in the movie Enchantress like sucks mouth on people, and then they turn into these.
By the way, kissing someone to make him your minion will take forever. I don't know why she thought that was a good idea.
Well, maybe she was like vomiting in their mouth.
It takes forever.
We couldn't tell
how many people she had. The whole army would take forever to kiss everyone.
Well, the minions, in my opinion, I thought they looked cool. They were like weird stress balls. Like if you squeeze a stress ball, you know, yeah. Like that's what they look like.
I thought they looked cool too. I just thought they could have had something else.
I can't remember if they used their guns.
They had guns. Some had guns.
So it was cool that like the ones that were soldiers had the guns, kind of like in zombie flicks, how some of the zombies that are like cops or military use the guns. Or in my opinion, if any of you have played The Last of Us, they're like the clickers, and the fact that when you shoot them, they like react in that sort of way. I don't know. I thought they were good for minions because they weren't like overpowered. And they weren't like too easy to kill. Like they're stronger than zombies and weaker than the T-2000 from Terminator. You know, like they're like good. I thought they were good minion villains. And you disagreed on me with that.
I mean they were fine. I thought that I would see something else. I think.
Oh, you I always like their look.
Their look is perfect. Perfect look.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. I just like for me, like I like a movie that having many little people like that is fine, but like I just enjoy seeing like the main fight scenes. Like imagine like two of them. Like one is like kind of one-sided. So they had like the brother. I don't know how to explain this. Like a good thing was like, and go back to Batman v Superman. How whenever Batman and Superman first meet each other, Superman just says, "Oh, stop being Batman. Consider this mercy," and he leaves. They should have had like a fight scene, one-sided, totally one-sided, but they just, like should have had it along with Suicide Squad. They should have had like Enchantress fight more than just the one time.
I think it would have been cool if they tried doing it, and I understand like, oh, they can't fight back because they have the bombs in their neck, because that's how Slipknot died, because of fucking dumbass Boomerang should have gotten killed too. I feel like they should have had them fight each other. Like, it would have been cool to see, like, what if maybe Deadshot pissed off Diablo in that scene, and then he had to deal with that. He probably would have gotten wrecked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. This is one of the bad parts in the movie, because it happened twice, and it made, like, in a video game, when the same thing happens over and over, like, Destiny, every time they fought the minions, right, the evil minions, they would pick up Flag, and then the group would have to rush over to Flag. He got picked up by 4 people. And it was within like 5 minutes. Like they're fighting in the street and they're like, oh, we gotta save Flag. If he dies, we die. So they save Flag and then they go into the building. And then there's more minions. And then they're like, we gotta save Flag. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's been 5 minutes. And you guys have not learned from your mistake. And those are the only times they really fight the minions, I think. Yeah. And both times, Flag gets his fucking ass picked up. Anyway, it would have been cool to see them fight each other. I want to say it would have been cool watching two of the people that are so similar, Deadshot versus Flag. That would have been fucking
fist
cool.
Fight?
Not fist fight, or like shooting, shooting, anything, like all out warfare. They shoot with their assault rifles, switch to their pistols,
get the RPG out,
and then and then they both pull pins. That would have been cool. That would show that they're like willing to go that far. But that obviously we got what we got. Like I can't talk about the steak if I ordered only fries, So,
but the thing with that, like if they fought, it'd be badass, right? But the thing is, it wouldn't like lack of the story, like
it wouldn't prolong.
He was there because he wanted to save his lover,
which I
Juno
really didn't
Mars.
Get. They're just like
or Juno Moore.
Going into that, I didn't understand that. That was one of those plot holes that I didn't get. They're like, Rick Flag is in love with what's her name, Rudy?
June.
June. Rick Flag is in love with June, and she's Enchantress. What the fuck? So did he fall in love with her? Maybe you can help me.
Okay,
did he fall in love with her before she's Enchantress?
No, so June
because they didn't say that. There's like, here she is, and then but by the time that you know he's in love with her, no, they've already revealed that she's Enchantress. So I don't know when he fell in love with her. That made no sense.
So
to me,
whenever Amanda Waller Waller took the heart of Enchantress, she put Rick Flag in charge of her, and she wanted Rick Flag to fall in love with her. She wanted them to fall in love so that she can control Rick Flag and also control Enchantress. So she
still makes no sense.
Amanda Waller put Rick Flag. Well, he fell in love with her after she was Enchantress.
Okay.
So she put him in a hotel room together, hoping they would fall in love, and her plan worked. All the plans worked.
I do like how Enchantress can like teleport or whatever and like take whatever she wants.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they do it, and I liked how she tried doing it with the heart,
and she couldn't.
And she couldn't because Amanda thought that through. Like I thought that was pretty great.
I think Amanda Waller was brilliant.
Yeah, Amanda Waller was amazing. Like she's a crazy badass. She's willing to go the extra mile. Like she is. Like if you imagine like who would come up with the Suicide Squad, who would make the villains work for the good guys? Amanda Waller. Like she did it. She fucking killed those guys in that room.
Yeah.
Like they weren't
classified for any of this. Something like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was amazing. She's pop. And when that happened, that like blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
And I know the CGI was that poor part, but Enchantress, when she's like the dirty looking Enchantress, her CGI looks brilliant,
going back
beautiful.
To CGI, yeah. I mean, there were scenes that were really good. Like, I can't tell if that was CGI or not. I feel like when she was like that, it was like minimal CGI.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're done.
Now there she is. If you want to see what June looks like.
June Moore. Smash it past June Moore.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's good, the bad, the ugly. There's the reviews that came out on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the all hail Rotten Tomatoes for everything that is to know. Yeah. Stocks mainly owned by Warner Brothers because at one point they actually owned Rotten Tomatoes, and they hate DC. It's kind of weird.
Don't believe the conspiracies, though. There's just,
I mean,
they want to rate it.
If you're going to be one of those people that looks on Rotten Tomatoes for reviews, don't look at the critic reviews. Look at the audience score. You're going to want to look at the audience score. I mean, the audience score on Suicide Squad is almost 70%. It's like 69. Go with those reviews. Don't go with the want-to-see reviews because those are fucking worthless. And don't go with the critic reviews because critic reviews can be, they can be, I don't want to say they're paid, but they could be, they're influenced more and they'll influence you more. So just don't look at those reviews. Just wait. If you want to wait for the movie to come out, look at the audience reviews. Because those are the ones that speak more truthful, because those are the people like you, like me.
Like everybody.
Like her.
That about wraps it up for this. The good, the bad, the ugly. Now remember, we're just a bunch of assholes. You watch the movie, and movies are art. You feel how you want to feel about the movie.
But these movies are for entertainment, so if you're going to write a score out on all the little things that we just fucking pointed out, then you're a fucking asshole.
Rate movies, not us.
But that's going to be it.
Concludes it. And we'll see you next time on The Good, The Bad, The Ugly. So like that like button.
Subscribe to that subscribe button.
Leave a comment down below what you thought was bad, what you thought was good, and what you thought was ugly.
And share it with your friend so they can make fun of you for watching us.